When you think about neon signs, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Ooh, when it comes to neon, I think of the glow and the color. Uh, that is something I'm truly attracted to, and seeing neon in the darkness in the horizon. And I remember being attracted to the color of whatever it was, like a neon ice cream cone or a neon Mexican restaurant sign. So it's always the color in the darkness that I think of when it comes to neon. That's something I am completely attracted to.
Do you have any significant memory with the neon sign? Like something that marked your life? Or that, like, oh my god, this is a great memory I have with neon sign.
You know, I do. And it goes back to childhood. My memories of childhood neon have influenced me today. I would drive, my family would drive to Knott's Berry Farm, for example. And on the way to Knott's Berry Farm, there was the Movieland Wax Museum. The Movieland Wax Museum had a gigantic, huge neon spectacular sign. And it wasn't that old. I think it dates to the 1960s, but it was so Las Vegas here in LA that you couldn't not see it. So as you drove the freeway, I would always just look off to the right to see if I could find the neon sign for Movieland Wax Museum. And then, of course, when I would visit Knott's Berry Farm, I enjoyed the neon signs at Knott's.
What would you say are the feelings that looking at a neon sign evoke inside you?
Oh man, feelings. Yeah, I there is a sense of nostalgia, of course. I do feel that little connection to my childhood's past, but I feel like there's a greater cause. When I see a neon sign, I have I have I've wept. I have emotional connections to seeing a neon sign restored. I have cried when I see a neon sign restored. I do have emotional connections to neon signs. To me, part of it is it's almost like a religion.
Anytime observed their reactions or their response, would you say it has like a positive impact on them, or would you say they don't really react to them?
There's people in both courts. People come to the Museum of Neon Art and they expect to see neon. They expect to see a glowing light of some kind. What we give them is an education on the electric and kinetic art. And sometimes they walk out learning a little bit more about the broad range of illuminated and kinetic artwork that's out there. I have had people walk in and walk out and not read and not learn. They have no comprehension about what they saw. We don't know what they were expecting, but they came in, they left, and there was no education that happened. In other instances, people have come into the museum and stayed for hours, read, learned. It's changed them. We have had a lot of people come to the Museum of Neon Art and then they've just become infected by neon. They wind up taking a class, for example. They take a course in what neon is. They get hands-on and become neon artists themselves. Maybe they only make one piece for their home, but we've had neon artists walk out of our classroom and start selling their neon artwork. They learned, they were inspired. I feel like I've seen it all at the museum. We do get every range of this spectrum of uninterested, they just came to take a selfie, and then they're gone. And then there's other people who, like me, come to the museum and we stay forever.
Just, it was more much than just a sign. It was like a probably a landmark for a community. It was.
Yeah, that neon
It meant a lot.
chicken, that neon chicken meant a lot to the neighborhood. we've restored it, put it on display, and celebrate their family